It is Friday, April 22nd, 2022. The time is 1:36 p.m. and we are on the record.
Sir, do you understand the testimony you give today has the same force and effect as if you were before the judge and jury?
Yes.
Please raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Before we get started, I would like to object to the presence of Mr. Jeremy Sorrell. I know Melinda has taken a position that he has a right to be here. I'd like the opportunity to put this before the judge.
The objection is noted. You filed a motion. We received service and the court will set that for a hearing as the judge has advised.
Yes, and we have tried to set a hearing since early this week. To my last message, y'all have been non-responsive, and again, I would ask before we continue that I get to put this in front of the judge for an opportunity to exclude you from today's hearing, or rather postpone, because the other side of this is the subpoena that I was served 48 hours ago in accordance with Texas Rules of Civil Procedure was not given with enough time to produce all these documents, so a lot of those documents are already in your possession.
It's the same subpoenas you were served in January. It's a repeat.
Okay.
So you had enough time under the rules of civil procedure.
Okay.
And so yes,
So-
you have provided some of those, and we can go through along the deposition.
And the judge also gave, in the last part, he had, and I believe this is your handwriting, Miss Owens, Nathan Criswell's mandatory disclosures are due within 30 days of this order. That order is dated for April the 7th. Therefore, we have until May the 7th to give you the rest of those.
Right, but that's different from the subpoena.
I would like to make that case in front of the judge. Thank you.
Okay.
You can file a motion and ask the court to have that heard.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not going to respond to any questions that you ask me, Mr. Sorrell. I would like to.
Let's go take up the issue of the deposition with the judge then.
Okay.
Thank you.
The time is 1:38 p.m. and we are off the record.
Mr. Criswell was directed that he was present for a deposition today, and he acknowledged to the judge that he would cooperate. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
All right.
Thanks.
I'm going to take you through a couple of pretty standard things just to start off with, so that we can make sure that you understand the issues here for today and how you need to answer these things, and just to kind of give you an idea. All right. First of all, can you state your name for the record, your full name?
Nathan Andrew Criswell.
And what is your current address?
2612 Oaks Drive, Granbury, Texas 76049.
And you're aware that you're being deposed in this case today.
Yes.
Have you ever been deposed before?
No.
Okay. In your deposition, I'm going to be able to ask you questions, and you understand that you're answering them under oath, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. There are a few differences between a deposition and what you might call a typical conversation, all right? First of all, we need to remember that the court reporter is attempting to transcribe everything that we say. Sometimes in a normal conversation, people will ask questions, people will answer, and they tend to talk over each other. We both need to avoid trying to do that to make sure that she can get a good record. Do you understand?
Understood.
All right. Second, because this is an oral transcription, all of the answers need to be made orally. It's very difficult sometimes for court reporters to understand things like uh-huh and nah, right?
Yes.
All right. Shaking of heads, that kind of thing. So we need to make sure that we're clear with the questions and answers.
Sure.
Finally, unlike a normal conversation, again, you understand that your answers today are given under oath and subject to penalty of perjury, correct?
Yes.
All right. And let me ask you, is there any reason why you think that you couldn't give truthful answers today?
Is there any reason why I think that I could not give truthful answers today? Not that I can think of.
Okay, you don't suffer from any mental or physical condition that would impede your ability to give correct answers? Okay, you're not under the influence of any substances or alcohol that would impede your ability to answer the questions today?
I am not under the influence of any substances or alcohol that would impede my ability to answer questions today.
Okay. If I ask a question you don't understand, there's nothing wrong with you asking me to repeat the question or explain certain terms if you don't understand them. However, if you do answer my question, then I'm going to assume that you understood. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right.
And
Again-
real quick, I'm sorry, before we get too much further, do I need to be looking at you when we talk, or how does this work?
Yeah, you can look at me.
Okay.
In fact, that's the next thing that I'm going to talk to you
Okay.
about is if you feel like you need clarification of any questions or anything like that, you just need to look to me for that clarification and no one else in the room. You understand that? Okay. Sometimes when I ask questions, people have partial knowledge of things. Maybe they're not absolutely certain. For example, if I were to ask you what the temperature is outside right now, you may not know the exact number, 83 degrees, whatever it may be, right? But you would be able to tell me within a certain range, correct?
Sure.
And you'd certainly be able to tell me if it was hot or cold,
Yes.
right? So you understand the answer of I don't know would not be sufficient for such a question, correct?
Yes.
All right. If I ask you some questions that you're not sure of and you have documents, you brought your laptop today, if there's some document that you need to access in order to answer that question, you can ask me to hold on for a second while you access the information from those documents or whatever it is that you may have. You
Sure.
understand that? Okay.
Thank you.
In order to get, an exact, whatever it is, answer to the question, whether it be a number or a date or whatever it may be. Also, you need to be aware that through the course of this deposition, I am entitled to complete answers. And so what that means is, as an example, what I generally use is if for breakfast you had coffee, orange juice, and toast, and I ask you what did you have for breakfast, and you say orange juice, that would not be a complete answer, would it?
Yes, that would not be a complete answer.
And the other side of that is, if I ask you what you had for breakfast, all you need to tell me is what you had for breakfast. You don't need to elaborate and tell me, and for lunch I had whatever. You
Sure.
understand that?
Yes.
All right.
This is just keeping it on scope. Is that what you're getting at?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we want to do. Okay. I am entitled, as you just heard from the judge, to ask you questions today. If you feel that you need to or you wish to object to any questions, you may do so by stating objection form.
Okay.
However, after you make that objection, I remain entitled to an answer and you remain obligated to answer the question. The court will later take up those objections and determine whether those answers shall continue to be included in the deposition or not. You understand that? Okay. All right. You understand that the purpose of the depo today is because of the case that's currently pending against you?
This one here.
The modification that's filed?
Yeah, so I'm actually a little confused on that. Initially, and Melinda, perhaps you can help with this. Initially, I saw that Jenny had wanted to limit custody back to standard from extended standard and other things like that. But then at some point, Kelly informed me that it was just for child support. So where do we stand on that?
So the modification is pending as was originally served on you. All of the questions that you're asking right now are things that will be taken up by the court later.
Okay.
Today we're just here for purposes of the deposition as to the child custody and for the compensation of child support.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. All right. Nathan, did you happen to bring with you any personal tax returns for the last 3 years?
And that would be the years 2021, 2020, and 2019, or
Yes.
2020, 2021, and 20.
22.
So which 3 years?
2021 and 22.
20, 21, and 22.
Mm-hmm.
There are no tax returns here with me because they do not exist. I have yet to file those taxes.
Okay.
Okay.
When you filed those taxes, Will you supplement those to us through the discovery that's outstanding?
100%.
Okay.
I've got a bookkeeper working to get me up
And
to
that
speed
was,
on that.
20, 21, and 22.
It's actually going back to 19 as well. The year 19 that you file in 20. That's what you mean by 20, right?
Right.
The year for 19 that
19
you file
filed
in
in
20,
20.
because we're still in 22.
Right.
Okay.
I'm looking for your 22 tax return for 21.
Gotcha. Yeah. So
Okay.
those, since the divorce, I haven't filed tax returns.
Okay. So during these same 3 time periods, 20, 21, and 22, so 19, 20, and 21,
Hmm.
have you filed any business returns for any businesses that you've had any ownership in?
No.
Okay. Do you have any ownership in any businesses?
Yes, I have a LLC, Criswell Land Services, that I started rather at the beginning of the pandemic, and the bottom fell out immediately, so there was never even an account open. But after talking to my bookkeeper, I still have to do something for that. And then Criswell Strategies was formed in August of 2021, after the special election.
Criswell Land Services was in 20, you said?
Yes.
And Strategies was August of 2021?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure on that date. Not 100%, but I'm pretty sure it was August.
And that's fine. Same question as on your personal taxes. Once you file the taxes for these 2 entities, you'll supplement those through discovery for the years, the same years in question?
Yes.
All right. Can you tell me what your address was again?
2612 Oaks Drive, Granbury, Texas 76049.
Okay. Do you own or rent?
I live with my parents.
Okay. So you don't pay any rent or anything there?
It's an informal type of deal.
Okay.
You know, I perform services and stuff. Parents hadn't had to do any landscaping in quite some time, so
Okay. But
it's nice for them.
no actual monetary compensation is delivered to them?
No.
Okay. Who actually owns the property?
That would be my father, Philip Criswell.
Okay. Do you pay any of the utilities at that location?
No.
Okay. What kind of vehicle do you currently own?
I have a 2002 F-150 and a 1996 Buick Regal.
Do either of those have a lien against them?
No.
So no monthly payment?
No monthly payment.
Okay. Carry automobile insurance coverage on both vehicles?
Currently?
Mm-hmm.
No.
No auto insurance on either vehicle?
No.
Okay. All right. Tell me how you're employed.
I started Criswell Strategies. It is a self-employment type deal.
Okay.
Sole proprietorship, I guess is what you'd call
And
it.
how long have you been at that?
I formed it. Can I check my
Absolutely.
stuff real quick? Just to get the dates right. We got the formation dates and all that. I believe that was in the stuff I sent you, was the formation stuff from when I had Rob Christian do that for me. Let's see if I can find it. Christian, here we go. Criswell Strategies. Okay. Got about half signal in here, you'll have to bear with me.
I understand. We're having the same issues.
So Criswell Strategies was dated August 17th, 2021 with a certificate of filing through the Secretary of State.
Okay. August 17th, you said?
Yes.
All right. What type of business does Criswell Strategies engage in?
Well, we started with political consulting, but now, due to that being seasonal, looking to expand into commercial. Picked up a couple small commercial clients here recently. So it's, I guess you could call it marketing and marketing strategy, political strategy, campaign management, stuff like that.
And you said that that is an LLC?
Yes, single member LLC. Yes.
So you're the only member, you're the managing member.
Yes.
All right. How are you compensated from Criswell Strategies?
I set a bi-weekly $500 deal, but then I also, if I'm down on working capital, a lot of the work that I do requires a certain level of working capital. For example, if a client wants to send a mailer to 12,000 Republican households in Hood County, that takes $5,000, and if they pay the supplier directly, I don't get charged a fee. However, if they pay me, then I can upcharge them for my services. So, but to answer your question, 500 every 2 weeks, but there's also a policy in place that allows me to forego that at times and then, rectify later through a leave and earnings statement type of deal.
Okay.
My main thing right now is just to get it built, because for the majority, I'm rather unemployable, at least in Hood County.
So when you provide yourself with additional income through a leave and earnings statement, that's documented?
It's not additional income. What I said was that is all maintained through a balance sheet, a leave and earnings statement. So, for example, I started it August 17th. I didn't actually take a paycheck until, I think, December. So basically I accrue at times, but because I value the working capital and my expenses are low because I'm trying to build this business.
So how did you earn money for those 4 months between August and December before you took any compensation from Criswell Strategies?
Say again?
How did you earn income from August until December if you took no money from Criswell Strategies? What did you do for work during that time period? You said you didn't take a check until December. What did you do from the
I'd
time
have to review the bank statements,
Okay.
which I believe are
They're right here. Which one of these is your personal bank statement?
Navy Federal is personal and Interbank is the company.
All right. Well, we can mark this one as Exhibit 1.
I believe there
That's your bank
were.
statement from what time period through what time period?
I think it's coming back to me now. I think when I first took on a couple clients, they paid me through PayPal or Venmo,
Okay.
and that will be classified as other earnings, not earnings through the company, because it took me a while to get the account set up.
So those
and all
funds
that
were
stuff.
not taken into Criswell Strategies, but taken personally?
Yes. Let me try to find that. Yeah, there's a Venmo for $9.85 in November. December. Let's see, that's 21. We want to go back to 20 though. Do you have 20?
I printed everything
This
you
is all
gave
we
us.
were provided.
Okay. I believe I provided from July, with the idea being since I started doing the political work. Because this just has November.
That would be here, starting at the back,
Okay.
and what we can mark as Exhibit 2.
Thank you. Okay.
So let's start with Exhibit 2 towards the back. I think that's where you'll find July of 2021.
Well, here's July of 2021 at the very front. Yeah, July is at the very front. These are in
Okay.
chronological
So-
order.
During the month of July, how much money did you earn?
During the month of July, it should be at the start of this, it'll say deposits. During the month of July, deposits and credits, $746.
Okay. And how much did you expend during the month of July?
Withdrawals, debits, $6,073.81. And that's from July 14th. I'm sorry, that's from July 14th to August 13th. So when we say July, it's from July 14th because it, I guess, goes back to when I originally started this account.
Okay, so on July 14th, what was the balance on hand in that account?
On July 14th, beginning balance $5,357.24.
Can you repeat that one more time? 5,000.
$5,357.24.
Okay. And from July 14th until August 13th, how much money did you deposit into that account?
$746.31.
Okay. And how much were your debits?
$6,073.81.
I see this exhibit too.
Sure. Help yourself.
During this time period, can you tell me what all of these debits are for? On 7/14, there's a debit to Tommy's. What is Tommy's?
Tommy's, that is a gas station in Hood County. There's several of them I'm sure you're familiar with.
Okay, so that was $1.94, correct?
Yes, that's what it shows. Yes.
All right, and then a debit to Walmart
Mm-hmm.
for $3. Is that correct?
Yes, that's what the record shows.
All right, and then another debit to, I don't know what this is, Chevron Elvan Investments. Do you know what Chevron Elvan Investments is? For $3.62.
Could have been a gas purchase. I don't know, filling up a little gas can to mow the yard, maybe.
Okay, and then again on 7/14, GovPay fee Hood San Antonio for $5.86. Do you know what that charge is for?
I do not recall, no.
Okay, McDonald's for $6.26. That's explanatory. Whataburger $8.05. Brahms $8.43. Whataburger for $10.49. China Cafe for $13.36. All those, that's obviously food. La
Mhm.
Fiesta, that's La Fiesta Mexican restaurant, correct?
Yes.
For $19. Chevron for $40.08. Is it safe to assume that's gas, probably?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hood County tax of Granbury, $234.50. What is this Hood County tax of Granbury?
It was probably, if I recall, that was the registration for the Buick.
Okay, that expired in. Probably.
Well, I just bought the Buick.
Oh,
so-
you bought the Buick in July.
Well, I think right around that time, yeah.
Okay. How much did you pay for the Buick?
I can check my Facebook messages. Found it on there. Oh. Here's the message. We didn't discuss price there. If I recall, it was somewhere between 2,000 and maybe 2,500, somewhere around there. But it was really a pretty good deal. Little car only had 80,000 miles on it. Of course, now the head gasket's blown, so.
Okay, somewhere between 2,000 and 2,500 is what you recollect.
Yes, to the best of my recollection, yes.
Okay, back to the bank records. There's
Sure.
July 15th, an ACH paid to James Jarrett for $4,000. What is that?
I rented his RV. He has a nice Mercedes RV that I rented for a period of 2 weeks.
Okay, what was the purpose of the rental?
Recreation, and to see if I could manage living in a confined small space like that.
And that was for 2 weeks.
Yes.
Did you have a contract with Mr. Jarrett regarding the rental?
No.
Did you take out an insurance policy to ensure that if any damages were done, that would be covered?
I believe his covered that.
Okay. So this was just a gentleman's agreement handshake?
Yeah.
Here's $4,000, you take my RV for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay, when did you take possession of the RV?
I don't recall.
Was it in July?
Safe to assume, yeah.
Yeah, sometime in July? And you
I
had
think it was around my birthday.
Okay, and when is that?
My birthday is July 26th.
Okay, so you had it sometime between the end of July and the 1st of August then, during a 2-week period there? Is that
Somewhere
fair?
around there.
Okay, moving on, 7/15, there's a debit card transaction to some unknown source in Granbury for $2.80. Do you know what that is?
Some unknown source.
Yeah, I don't know what TX0302 is.
I don't know.
It's $2.80 minimal amount. Okay, Buddy's Food Mart. Says that's in Granbury. You know what Buddy's Food Mart is?
No.
$7.33.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Also on July 15th, there's a transaction at JCS Lick 3130. It's at JC's Liquor on Fall Creek Highway at 3130 Fall Creek Highway
That's what it looks like, yeah.
for $9.11. What was that for?
I don't recall.
Okay. McDonald's, $7.78. DoorDash, $9.99. China Cafe, $12. On July 16th, there's onlyfans.com
Mm-hmm.
from Illinois. What is $17.32? What is that for?
OnlyFans is a website where content creators, it's kind of like Patreon, where they say, hey,
I don't know what that is. What is
Okay.
Patreon?
well, you're familiar with the show we do, right?
No.
Okay, so with podcasts and
Oh, podcasts,
online
okay.
content creator stuff,
Mhm.
if you're releasing, what they call creative work, that is a service where rather than doing it for free the way we do for the Shark Show, it's, one that you pay a fee.
Okay, so you paid $7.32 for what? What did you purchase from OnlyFans for $17.32?
I don't recall. It was probably just supporting one of the content creators.
Okay, what kind of content is on this?
There's all kinds of content on there.
But political content?
No. This is a personal bank record, so I don't know why it would be political content.
I mean, I'm asking you, what is OnlyFans.com? What kind of content do they have? I don't.
There's whatever content the users decide to do.
But no political content?
No.
Okay,
Not to my knowledge, anyway.
all right. And you don't recall what you paid $17.32 for from OnlyFans?
No.
On July 16th, there's a transaction to bootlegger.
Well, hang on. Let me stop you right there. You said you don't recall. I told you it was content. I don't recall exactly what that content was.
Okay. You don't recall what the content was?
Yes.
July 16th, there's a transaction to Bootlegger Liquor for $19.47. What was that for?
Do not recall.
Okay. July 16th, Brightworks car.
That's a car wash.
Oh, $20 for a car wash. Got it. All right.
I think that was for the monthly subscription. I had it on the Buick for a while. You pay $20 and you can go through there as often as you want.
Okay. July 19th, there's an ATM withdrawal for $102.90 at Broadway Express. Do you know what Broadway Express is?
I'm not sure, no. It's probably an ATM.
Okay. There's also on 719 Sonic. We know what that is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also on 719 SQ Acton Donut. We know what that is.
Yeah, SQ is square.
Okay.
You'll see that on there a lot. I stop and get donuts for the girls a lot, especially on Fridays as I take them to daycare.
Okay, also on July 19th, there's a debit card transaction to David's 106.
Yes.
Is that David's, the grocery store? Is
Yes.
that what that is? Okay. There's also a debit for $10 to Brightworks car again.
Mm-hmm.
Is that outside of the monthly $20 subscription we just talked about?
It could have been before I did the monthly, because I went there once or twice before I started the monthly.
Okay. On July 19th, there was a transaction at Fuzzy's Tacos.
Mm-hmm. It's a taco
$20.
restaurant there.
Shell service station for $30 also on the 19th. On the 20th, you went to David's again,
Mm-hmm.
$2.67. On July 20th, Sonic Drive-In, we know what that is. July 20th again, Sonic Drive-In. July 22nd, Brightworks car again
Mm-hmm.
for $3.
Mm-hmm.
So you testified earlier that you pay a $20 monthly.
Somewhere around the
Subscription,
time that I started, somewhere around the time that I bought the Buick, I got the subscription. I think I bought a couple before I said I may as well just do the subscription. But then I only kept it for like a month or something.
Gotcha.
I'm sure I can get the records because they still call me from time to time.
Okay. July 22nd, Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty self-explanatory. Also on the 22nd, Acton Donut. On the 22nd, Tommy's 9 for $16.21. I think you told me Tommy's is convenience store, right?
It's a chain of them, yeah. There's several in Hood County, kind of stationed all around.
722 McDonald's. 722 David's 106 for $70.50. Is it fair to say that was likely for groceries?
Yes.
Okay. 723 David's 106 again for another $2.67.
The $2 ones you'll see there for a while. I was stopping in there for Monster energy drinks.
Okay, that's these repetitive $2.67 at David's 106.
Probably, yeah.
Makes sense. Okay. July 23rd, JC's Liquor Granbury for $26.30. What did you purchase that day?
I don't recall.
Okay. David's number 106 for $4.48. That's the grocery store, right?
Yes.
Tommy's again. Sonic again. Amazon MKTP. Is that Marketplace? Maybe Amazon Marketplace.
I would presume so.
$11.98.
Mm-hmm.
You recall what you purchased there?
I can probably look it up on my history if you'd like, if it's of some significance.
Sure.
And that was on what date?
It was on July 26th.
Yeah, this is just showing me the past 3 months here. Let me see if I can go back farther.
It's fine. I'll on the record will withdraw the request for you to locate that document
Okay.
specific to that transaction.
Okay.
We can move on. I'm going to try to move a little bit quicker through some of these, and the ones that are obvious, we won't worry too much about. Here's another one on July 27th to JC's Liquor on 3130 Fall Creek Highway in Granbury for
Mhm.
$82.56. Do you recall what that was for?
No.
No?
No, I
Okay.
do not.
Alright. Here's that TX0302 again. You don't recall what that is?
What's
It's just this TX0302.
$1.40? It could have been a ice stand, or I don't know. Sometimes you just run your cart at the little things to put air in tires. I don't really keep track of all those.
Okay. On July 30th here is a transfer from checking Nathan Criswell.
Mm-hmm.
From what checking account?
Transfer from checking 6619. I have 2 checking accounts with Navy Federal, though I would assume it comes from that other one. I'm not for certain. I don't have any other. At that time, those are the only accounts that I had. So this is everyday checking 2564. The 10105, I believe, is the one that I pay child support.
This one?
Yeah, 0105.
Okay.
Yeah, so whenever I pay child support, it usually comes out of that account,
Alright.
because we long ago linked the deal, so the money hits their account very quickly.
Okay.
I assume, but to answer your question, I'm not for certain.
Alright. On August 11th, in this bank account, there's something called e-deposit scan mobile
Yeah,
for $500. What is that?
that would have been a mobile check. So instead of taking it to the branch, you just use your phone and take a picture of it. It says e-deposit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so e-deposit, electronic deposit.
So someone on August 11th gave you a check for $500? And
That's
you
at
took
least
a
when
picture
I
of it?
deposited it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell me who issued you this check for the e-deposit?
Sure. Yeah, I can try to find that. That was 8/11.
Mm-hmm.
Does there happen to be Wi-Fi in here?
I don't think there is.
Okay. I got 5G-E, but it's on 1 or 2 bars, so you have to bear with me here. Wonder if being in this interior room affects that.
It's the whole building.
Oh, is it? That was in 2564, right? The last 4 on that account,
Yes.
2564.
Mhm. That's correct.
So we'll go to statements. And that was what date?
August the 11th.
August the 11th. August the 11th. let's see. So when I pull up the statement, it just shows me that same stuff that I had sent to you. Let's see. As for that other one, there's 0105. E-deposit, $500. Yeah. I do not recall which $500 that was, nor who it was from. But with some additional time, I can get with the bank. I think they make those images available, but anything going back past a year, I have to go
Okay,
up
so
there.
you'll supplement the image of that check that you deposited?
Sure. And before I leave, can I get a list of all these supplements? Thank you.
Okay. All right. Again, on August 12th, $11.90 to OnlyFans. Do you recall what that was for?
That would have been some online content.
And then on August 12th, another transaction to OnlyFans for $13.31. Do you recall what that was for?
Some online content.
But you don't recall what the content was?
No.
Okay. On August 13th, there's something called Grammarly Cone KDW6. What is that?
Grammarly is an app that you can use to help perfect your style of writing, or, that's what Grammarly is.
Okay. It's an application, a writing application.
It's more of a editing application.
Okay. On August 13th, there was also a transfer to checking for what looks to be $11.41. Was that again from 2564 over to the 150,
I would assume, yeah.
whatever that was, 0105? Okay.
Mhm. So you guys know what OnlyFans has a reputation for, right?
I don't know what OnlyFans is.
Okay, so it is a thing that got real popular during the pandemic, where there's all kinds of content on there, but a lot of it does tend to be pornographic. So
Okay. So there's a transaction detail here about a checking line of credit on August 10th, $12.85 with a principal balance of $500. What is this line of credit?
that is a checking overdraft account. So it's like it's a line of credit that's attached to the checking account. And for the last several years, that's generally been maxed out at that $500 limit.
Okay. So I'm gonna hand you back Exhibit 2.
Sure.
And the dates on here go from July to August, and then when we come to the next account, that picks up from November to December. Where are the months in between, from August to September, September to October, and then October to November? Do you have those?
Can I see that email that I sent you guys? Because I'm pretty sure I went through and downloaded those months.
Which ones are they thinking?
August to September, September to October, October to November.
I think that was all on that zip file. So I went through and downloaded it, and so 8, and then it goes to 11. And then there's January, August. And see, this is back to November at the end of this year.
Yeah. For the other account, right? The 105 account.
Yeah. Here's
Those are all the
7,
Navy Federal ones.
21. 6/14.
Those were printed.
They're not.
Yeah, they're not here.
Okay. We have the August 14th.
So you do have them. Okay.
That's the last one.
The last one? Okay.
No, I'm sorry. August and September. Yeah.
Alright.
Which goes back to July 14th, which is the one you had earlier. Because that's
Right, we have July, yeah,
Okay.
we don't have August in here. August to September.
I'm sorry, so
No,
we do
we
have
have
them
it
all in there?
electronically, we don't
Okay.
have it here.
cool.
Yeah. Alright, so let's jump to November.
Okay.
We'll do November to December here. On November 24th, there's this line of credit, transfer to checking line of credit of $20.
Yeah, that's
That's that
usually the
overdraft
monthly
coverage.
payment. Yeah, towards that.
Okay. And then this is transfer to credit card, $123.19.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what credit card that was transferred to?
It's a Visa account that I actually no longer have the card for. I'm just paying it off. There's about $7,500 there.
Owed?
Yeah. Yeah. I say
Okay.
75. I think it's down to 72 or 71 now.
Is that the only credit card that you had or have?
The Visa, I had a Discover. I had a Kohl's. Just Kohl's charge. Visa Discover. And at one point I did have a Capital One, but to the best of my knowledge, that was while Jenny and I were still married.
Okay. On the Capital One, you don't have that card any longer.
I don't have any cards any longer.
Okay.
Any credit cards.
You have, okay, so when the Capital One was closed, was there a balance owing on it?
I don't recall. I think I did have a balance, and I called and settled with them, but I could be mistaken. It's all,
So possibly settled?
yeah.
Okay. How about on the Kohl's account? Was there anything owed on that?
I think I did pay that one off in its
Okay.
entirety.
In the Discover?
The Discover, I don't recall exactly what the status of that was.
Okay, but currently you have no open credit lines in the form of credit cards.
That I can spend? No. No, there's still the Visa account that I still owe on. So, like, the way it's reported is that account's still open, but it's not, I can't make any purchases with it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right, let me ask you about this transaction here. I don't understand what this is. This is on December 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
There's a transaction, Venmo, Criswell, Nat, New York City, in the amount of $1,985. What do you recall what this is?
I can look at it. It should be in the Venmo statements I gave you guys.
But you don't recall what this $1,985
Off the top of my head, now I'd have to go back and look at the. Are the Venmo printouts in here? Yeah, so you said that was December, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so. Is that Venmo or Cash App there?
Which is this one?
That's when I opened Venmo.
This is what we get when we open Venmo from the zip.
There's two screenshots.
Yeah. From the zip drive that you provided us, this is all that we get.
You said there were two screenshots, so what was the other one?
It's right there. Isn't it? No, it's
So are we missing that page? Okay. So, what was the date on the transaction?
December. Go back to it. December 3rd was the date that it came in here.
Okay,
yeah.
so December 2nd, there is a transfer of 2,000 to Brett Rogers, but then there's also another 2,000 from. I'm sorry, that's Yeah, so December 1st, I did get 2,000 from a Michelle Evans. And then there was another one with Brett Rogers. Oh, there it is. Yeah, $17.99. That was December 2nd.
No, it's 1,985.
So that would have been that would have probably been the 2,000 from Michelle coming into my account.
Okay. Who is Michelle Evans?
She is a client.
Okay. So this was for some of her marketing or something?
Yeah.
Was she a political candidate?
Yes.
Okay. But that money came into your personal account?
Yes.
Okay.
It was before I.
And then there was this $17.99, this other Venmo Direct New York. That's the other one on there for Brett Rogers?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And who is Brett Rogers?
He's one of my vendors.
Okay, what does he do?
And he does video work.
Okay.
But you're saying this
He provided you $1,799 for video work?
Yes. Well, it was actually, you add that up there, and it was 18. Yeah, 1,800. So, and then both of those were before I.
So you actually paid him $17.99.
Yeah.
Okay. But Michelle Evans paid you $2,000.
Yes.
Okay, and that came through. I'm gonna mark this as Exhibit 3.
And she said the other page with it. It's at the back of that sheet.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so the monies from Michelle Evans were for your services as a political consultant.
Yes.
Okay. And why did that money not flow through the business account?
Because that was the way that she could pay me without putting a check in the mail. And I said, okay, I'll just count this. I'll take a bigger hit on the taxes when I file them. But it was really a matter of convenience for her.
But you had a checking account at the time. The business had a checking account that the money could have gone through, right?
And at the time, I did not have a Venmo commercial, which I do have now. I don't know if they even offered that at the time, but when I saw that they offered it, I said, hey, I just need to do that.
Okay, I've heard of Venmo, but I don't really know what it is or how it works. I don't have it.
Yeah.
What exactly is Venmo?
It's kind of like a weird it's a weird way to transfer money from checking accounts and debit cards and credit cards to and from, whether it's a business thing or a personal thing or whatever.
Okay. And this is the only form of payment that Michelle Evans had to transfer money for your services?
It was the most convenient at the time.
Okay. She couldn't have wired it from her bank account to your business account?
I guess she could have, but at the time this was the method that we agreed upon, and it's the method that we did.
Okay. On 12/6, there's another transfer to checking, Nathan Criswell, 233.33.
Mm-hmm.
You believe what is that?
It looks like it went to the other account, yeah.
Okay, and the same for this $100 on 12/8.
I'm sure if you look at the corresponding for 0105, you'll see
Okay.
the same ones in there. Sometimes the transfers would be for things as easy as like, oh, I left that other debit card at the house, but I'm out and about with the other one, so I would make a transfer to,
Okay.
Let's
go to January. January 26th, there's an e-deposit mobile scan.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably another mobile check.
Yeah.
For the amount of $500. Do you know who gave you that check on January 26th?
I think that one was mine, and now that I think about it, the last one, that could have been my payroll check. So let's check the interbank account, because I'll bet you that those were, with it being 500 even, that is usually what I write those checks for.
What that is for?
Yeah, that's probably what that is. Because I pay myself out of this account to that account. And that was what date now?
January 26th.
January 26th. January 26th. Okay, so this is only November and December. Can you check that zip file for January?
All we got on the zip drive is this one. I did the download. I don't have another statement, printed statement.
You said you've got that though, does that have January in there? Yeah, so see here's,
Mark this as 5.
and just to go back to the Venmo thing, it looks like this is when I discovered Venmo for a business account. So if you guys don't have this, I can send it to you, but it's another $875 to Brett Rogers from Criswell Strategies through the Venmo account.
Okay.
You want to put that on the supplement, Melinda?
Mm-hmm.
Got that list?
Okay. I'm going to show you Exhibit 5 here.
Sure.
And on the dates where these deposits were made, two $500 deposits, which match up with the two deposits from 126 on this bank account, and the
One-
bank account ending in 2564.
126.
Okay. Closest date is the next day, correct?
Mhm.
127,
Yep.
and it just says 2 checks.
Yep.
It doesn't say who they're from or what they're for, correct?
Yes. On this ledger, yes, that's correct.
Okay. Can we add that to the list of things that you'll supplement, or the copies of those checks, so
I think
verify
I
that that's
sent
income?
pictures of all the checks to you, Melinda, did I not? The pay
For
stubs?
December and November, yes.
Okay, so I'll supplement that, that's fine.
Okay. So January 5th, there's a debit to something called Prime Video. Is that for
It's
some
Amazon
sort of video
Prime.
services?
Yeah, it's Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime?
Yeah,
Okay.
so whenever you buy, like if it's not part of their streaming service you get with being a Prime member, then you can pay, $2 or $3 or whatever to rent a video, like if the girls want to watch Frozen or
Gotcha.
whatever.
All right. December 28th on the statement. It says ACH paid from VACP Trez. 310.
Mm-hmm.
152.64. What is VACP TRES?
Veterans Affairs something. That's my disability payment.
Okay, it's 152.64.
Currently, yes, it's rated at 10%, and then each year they factor that. Whatever.
Have you
10%.
received an increase since this 152.64?
Not to my knowledge, no. That's from when? January?
This is from December 28th.
December. So the January statement would show if there was an increase for this year.
But you don't recall if you've seen one.
But I don't recall. I still thought it was at 140 or so, but I guess it's 152 now.
Okay. Some of these are a little out of order. This has gone back to June 14th through July 13th of 2021.
So that's June of 21 now.
Yes.
So we've skipped back to
Yeah,
June.
we've gone back to June 14th through
Okay.
July 13th of 2021.
Okay.
On June 16th, there's a transaction through Cash App for $75 to Colby Who, H-O-O. Who is Colby Who?
Oh, that's my graphics artist. Yeah, Colby Hooper. He
Colby
takes-
Hooper?
Yeah.
Okay. And where's he located?
He is in Alabama. He was referred to me by the Green Fox guy, funny enough.
Okay. And so this $75 was for some service he provided?
Yeah, some service. With it being $75, it was probably like a revision on something for a client. You know.
Okay. And then on June 18th, there's another transaction to OnlyFans
Yeah.
for $17.32.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what was that for?
Again, that's it's hard for me to say specifically what that was for, but OnlyFans does have a reputation for being it's like a website where amateur people make pornographic pictures and videos, but then there's also some game streaming and Twitch type stuff. I'm sure, I don't know if you understand.
So there have been I don't know what Twitch is, but
Okay.
I don't know. But
Yeah.
so there are several charges on here, but you don't recall specifically what content you've purchased from this website throughout any of these transactions?
Specifically what content? No.
Okay. Have you purchased pornographic content? You said it's known to be a pornographic website.
I have at times, yeah.
From OnlyFans?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so some of these transactions,
Could be. I don't know that they all are, but it could be that
but some are definitely pornographic
at least
purchases.
once or twice, yeah.
Okay. What is FB Pay Brazos Pregna?
That was a donation through Facebook paid to, I think that's Brazos Pregnancy Center. They were doing a little fundraiser through Facebook. It's
Okay.
a pro-life organization there in Granbury.
All right, and then here's a $99.19 on June 22nd. ACH funds from Robin Hood Funds.
Robinhood, yes.
What is Robin Hood?
Robinhood is a. There for a while, I was trying to do cryptocurrency stuff, Dogecoin and Bitcoin and all that stuff. So, if that was a dividend, then that was money after a sale of either cryptocurrency or stock. Though I preferred cryptocurrency because you didn't have the day trading limitations that actual stocks give.
So Robin Hood is a fund. It's
It's an app on the phone that, like, you buy.
allows you to invest.
Yeah.
Okay, like a Fidelity app or something like that.
Yeah, except you can get stocks, but then they also do cryptocurrency and stuff, and
Okay.
I was trying my hand at that for a little while.
It's an investment application
Yeah.
of sorts. All right.
Sure.
All right. I'm gonna guess from some of these charges here, you must have gone to Florida in June. Is that correct?
Let's see.
Here is Spirit Airline on 6/21 to Florida.
Yeah.
BMW parking on
Mhm.
6/24. Also on 6/24, PNSCNB Airside, Pensacola, Florida.
Yeah, we had a big family vacation. There was 5 generations of us at a beach house out in, we used to go to Pensacola and Destin, but now we've started going further east. I forget what the name of it is. Blue Mountain, it seems like. I forget. But yeah, it was I had to come back early. The rest of the family stayed, but I had to come back early for the election. Almost forgot about that.
Okay, on July 12th, there's a transfer to checking to Jenny Lee Figueroa Morales for $80. What was that for?
That was probably part of the child support. Sometimes she gets paid in cash and other times it's an electronic transfer.
Okay.
Right now the rate is set at $280. So it would make sense that if she'd been given $200 cash, or if there's another transfer to her account around that time for $200, that would.
Okay, we're going to come back to February. This is the statement from February 14th to
Of
March
21 or
13th,
22?
22.
Okay, cool.
Okay. There's on Valentine's Day, February 14th,
Mm-hmm.
there is a charge to Tomfoolery's Adventure Round Rock.
Yeah.
What is Tomfoolery's Adventure Round Rock?
Not sure, but Round Rock, I went down there on a business trip. So there was a convention there at the Kalahari that he was a guy running for Congress, invited me, and he actually covered a lot of the expenses, but you know, we had to buy our own food and had the girls with us. It was a fun time.
Okay. And that was for a convention?
It
So-
was Alan West was speaking, so we got there on a Friday, and Alan West spoke on Friday night, and then we came back on Saturday, or it was Saturday and Sunday, I forget which days. It was myself, Becky, and the girls.
Okay. Who is Becky?
Becky is my girlfriend,
Okay. What is her last name?
Campbell.
Becky Campbell.
Yes,
Where does she reside?
in Granbury.
But not in the same home where you reside?
No.
Okay. I want to move back over to the businesses real quick and ask you a few questions on that. The
Sure.
first is Criswell Land Services came about in 2020. That was a single member LLC.
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
Okay, and it
There was never an account opened or anything. That was like right before the lockdown.
is it operational? Does it continue to be operational today?
No.
Okay. Has it been properly withdrawn and closed with the state comptroller's office and the Secretary of State?
No, no, that's what my bookkeeper was.
Okay.
Uh,
So it's still open, but it's not functioning.
yes,
Okay.
I guess you call it non-active.
All right. So then, Criswell Strategies, you started in August of 2021, correct?
Yes,
All right. And so you're testifying today that your compensation is $500 biweekly from Criswell Strategies.
that is the rate. Though I'm not always taking a paycheck if there's not enough capital in the account to function at the level that I want to function at.
Okay, so there are some months you take less than 500 biweekly, is what you're saying, correct?
Yes, and
Are there any months where you take more than 500 biweekly?
there could be.
Okay, so you have it structured to be able to pay yourself bonuses?
It's not a bonus, so it's back pay for pay that, what do you call it? It's like I earn the pay, it's like an IOU from the company to myself. So there's like a leave and earnings deal that I need to send over to you guys.
Okay. Does Criswell Strategies provide you with health insurance?
No,
Have you purchased health insurance privately?
no, but I did write a resolution stating that they'll cover my medical costs. So like the prescriptions that I take, I typically pay for those.
Who is they that will cover it?
The
Criswell
company,
Strategies?
yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you have any idea how much revenue Criswell Strategies has generated since its inception in August of 2021?
Off the top of my head, no. I should be able to tell you from the records that I provided.
Okay. Can you look at what exhibit are you looking at?
This is Exhibit 5. And we'll take it back to when the account opened. Could use a calculator. $5,675 and change. 75 and change.
When you say
plus-
6, is that 6,000?
I'm trying to keep tally in my head,
Gotcha.
just for if you're okay with a rough estimate.
That's fine.
Okay, so sorry, I gotta start over. Open that account with 5,000, and then it shows another. So that's 6,000, 7,000, 7,500. 7,500 plus 900 is 8,400. Plus 750, 8,400. So that's $9,000 and $250. I think 9,250. Another 1,500. So 10,250, 10,750. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. About another. So that puts us at about 18. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, plus 23 plus 7 is 30, 34, 35, about 35 grand it looks like according to these records.
Okay, approximately $35,000.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And how
And
much?
that's from August until April 1st.
August, when you formed the company, until April 1st.
Yes.
Okay. How much did you pay yourself between August and April 1st?
I'd have to go back and look.
Again, you're reviewing that from Exhibit 5.
Yes. guess I could look at my, this here, let's see, this is, but we don't have August, September, October, do we? In
You
paper
have them
format.
electronically, right?
Which one's the business or the Navy Fed?
The Navy Fed.
Let's just start like this. You testified earlier that you didn't take any money from August through December, correct?
Roughly none. It could have been some, but I don't think that I wrote the first payroll check until December. I could be wrong, though. We've got the records here. I can look and tell you.
So we can start with December then, fair?
No, because the monies that I don't think that would be fair for purposes of child support calculation because it doesn't factor in the monies owed that I haven't taken yet because I need to maintain a certain level of working capital. I guess you'll know her.
No.
Okay. Let's see. PIC printing. Fuzzies. Brahms. I don't see any. Those are all point of sale. Point of sale, point of sale. Point of sale. There's a withdrawal for 300 in October. I'd have to go back and look to see what that was. October. And Square. Campbell. See, I don't remember exactly. I think the first check, there we go. There's a check for one. Oh, that was rent. 3 checks, there we go. Those are the first 3 payroll checks that I remember writing.
Okay, when were those?
Those were all on 12/20.
3 checks for 500?
Yes, and they were temporary checks because I didn't have actual checks
Okay.
at that time.
Did you take any checks in January?
Check. Let's see. Check in. There's another rent check. 2 checks in January for 500. That was on January 27th.
127 of 2022?
Yes.
You took 2 checks for 500.
Yes. And
Okay.
then this check, I don't think that one was to me though, because it's an odd amount. It's $1,018.80. That could have been to a vendor or something. I'd have to go back and look. Metro mailer.
How about for February? Did you take checks in February?
February? Does not appear so. Check 108. That was for 300. I think that one was for a couple months' rent, if I remember. Deposit. Like I say again, I can get all these check images. They maintain all those with the bank.
Okay.
So,
So
I would like to
you'll
look at-
supplement the check images for the payroll from December through
I'll
present.
I'll supplement all check images that I have from this account.
Just add that to the list.
Which account is that one?
It's the interbank business
Interbank.
account.
Interbank?
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
This will be good anyways, because like I said, I got to take it all to the tax lady.
Okay.
It's kind of hard for me.
All right, so you don't have any health insurance, correct?
That's correct.
All right, you do you provide any health insurance for your children?
No, Jenny takes care of that.
Okay, do you know how that's paid for?
She has it deducted from her account, or not from her account, from her, I think it's a payroll deduction. I'm not really certain though, but it's something through the school. It's the teacher's health insurance program or whatever it's called.
Do the children receive any health care provisions through any governmental agency that you're aware of?
That would be a question for her, but none that I'm aware of. I didn't get a copy of their insurance card till here recently, so.
Okay. All right. This particular entity, Criswell Strategies,
Yeah.
it's an LLC, correct?
That's correct.
All right. How is it taxed?
That is a question for my tax lady. So it's a single member LLC, whatever the rules apply
Okay.
to for
Let me
that.
show you. I think we're on number 6.
All right. You recognize this document?
Yeah, I think Rob Christian gave this to me when I started it.
Okay. That's a. What is the title of that document?
Application for EIN.
All right. Does the Criswell Strategies have its own tax ID number?
Is that the same as EIN?
Mhm.
Right. Yeah, so that's 8723255177.
All right. And so, if you look down here,
Mm-hmm.
if I right here under 9A,
Mm-hmm.
what does that show that the type of entity is and how it would be taxed?
Sole proprietor.
Okay. So you engage in flow-through taxation.
I don't know what that phrase means.
It means that you're not paying any taxes to the entity and you're flowing all of the income that the entity makes into yourself and you're filing personal income taxes.
No, there will be separate taxes for this. Again, I've got to get with the bookkeeper lady.
Okay, so you don't know how it's going to be taxed.
I don't know. Listen, I'm not a numbers guy. That's why I had to bring on a bookkeeper. I do marketing and messaging. All this stuff is kind of foreign to me.
Okay. How is Criswell Strategies paid? How are they paid?
You mean where does the revenue come from? Clients.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you contract with these clients?
Yeah, most of the time there's a written contract. Sometimes it's just verbal.
Okay. Is it a standard contract for services or is every contract different depending upon who the person is or what the service is?
We don't have just a cookie cutter contract. Whether it's a commercial or a political, that makes a difference. If it's a big budget political or a small budget political, that makes a difference. But most of the language in there is standard. So when I formed it, part of what I paid Rob Christian for was to put the contracts together to help keep the business square and legal and all that.
Okay, so the contract pricing varies then.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if it's somebody for the school board, I'll do most of those pro bono, but if it's somebody running for state house or something, then
Okay. Are there any sort of provisions written into your contract that allow for either bonuses or refunds?
win bonuses.
Win bonuses?
Yes.
What is a win bonus?
So if a campaign is successful, then usually my standard win bonus is like a $2,000 thing.
Okay. Have you received any win bonuses?
I would have to go back and look at all the checks and check the emails and all that.
Okay, so you'll supplement that as well, the win bonuses?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. You got win bonus written right there.
Since its inception, how many candidates have you represented or contracted with?
Contracted verbally or contracted?
In any form or fashion?
Let's see. I've actually got, I think, most of them listed on my website. So I'll pull that up. Okay, 1, 2. Now, you looking for pro bono or paid?
Anyone that Criswell Strategies is represented.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, let me.
So you counted off 7. Where did that information come from?
I was just going through the website, but that's not all inclusive. So if it's okay with you, I'd like to look through my computer to
Sure.
get you an exact number.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, my battery's dead. That's funny. I might have to charge it with me. Oh, thank you. Is there a plug anywhere? Okay. Might be behind the curtain behind us there. Would you like me to list them? That way we can be sure to keep them all straight.
That would be good.
Okay.
Everything.
Thank you. Hope we don't start a fire on that strip.
Trying to buy land?
No?
Nothing's.
Is it working?
Oh, there it goes. Sometimes it just needs a second, I guess. Let's see. So, Dave Eagle is one, and his.
First of all, what document are you looking at to refresh your recollection as to?
I'm just looking at my desktop folders.
Okay, desktop folders.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's start off with how many clients you've contracted with or represented since
I'm trying
2019.
Since 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So before Criswell Strategies.
Yes.
Okay, so that would be Chad Davis, Sheriff Deeds, Carrie Conwell, who ran for Constable Precinct 3. Deb Gillum, Justice of the Peace. Mark Shackelford in his precinct chair race. And then there was Jim Jarrett, Kathy Reedy, Courtney Gore, Melanie Graft, Dave Eagle, Katie Lang. Did I say Jeff Kelly already?
No.
Okay, Jeff Kelly, Richard Haddix, and trying to think if there's any others. So since 2019, about 13. Oh, my bad. I forgot Williamson County. Terry Romere, who ran for commissioner in Williamson County, and then Michelle Evans, who's running for State House there in House District 136. And I did a little work for, sometimes I take just one-offs. Campaigns will be like, hey, can you design a mailer for me? And, you know, whatever. So I did that for, I think her name was Richard Hale. She didn't win her election. And that would be in the TEC records. I think it was like a $250 or something I charged her to design that. And Defend Texas Liberty. They were one of mine. So, and that's a pack.
Okay.
And I think that's all since 2019. And then others, you know, there have been other people that have asked for advice. That, you know, I'll answer just about anybody's questions. I gave Mark Jackson some advice and hooked him up with a sign supplier. I, you know, consulted with Kelly Van Buren at the start of his run for commissioner. You know, there's, I try to just help the people that I think are trying to do the right thing.
Okay, let's start back at the top. Chad Davis.
Yeah.
And I may have missed one or two of these names, so if I did, you can fill that in. You represented him in what race?
That was his race for Constable Precinct 1.
Okay. How much did you charge him for that?
For the 2020 cycle, because I was just getting started, I was charging people next to nothing. I think I charged him $250 for the whole campaign. Of course, he was pretty low maintenance.
Okay, was there a win provision
No.
associated with that?
No.
So approximately $250.
Yeah.
Okay, how about Cornwell?
Conwell.
Conwell.
Yeah, Carrie Davis Conwell. I think I charged her somewhere between $250 and $500 because I did some lead generation and networking and stuff like that.
What race was that? What year?
Constable Precinct 3 of 2020.
Okay. Sheriff Deeds, you said.
Mm-hmm.
What year did you what year or years did you represent him?
That was in 2019. We started that in, I want to say it was October timeframe. I actually still have the check at the office. I kept it.
But it was for the 2020 race?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because the 2020 race is in March. The campaign
primary.
starts. Yeah.
How much did you charge Sheriff Deeds?
I think total he paid me was maybe $500.
Okay. Doug Gillum,
Mm-hmm.
what year was that for?
That was for his 2020 race for Justice of the Peace.
Okay. And how much did Judge Gillum pay you?
I want to say it was $250, but I could be mistaken. I feel like that's, and he was actually, it's a funny story, he was the one that kind of pushed me into it because he said, hey, I want your help on the campaign, and I said, okay. He goes, oh, but I want to pay you. I was like, what? Are you sure? You know, but
I feel like I missed one through there. No?
Shackelford in 2020.
Okay. Shackelford, 2020. What was that race for?
It was just a precinct chair race. I did that pro bono. Usually if races don't pay anything, I won't charge people.
Okay.
I mean, if the position doesn't pay anything, rather.
And is that the only race that he's paid you for?
Yes.
Okay. You weren't involved in his 2022 race, the one that he's currently in a runoff for?
That's still ongoing. But no, he hadn't paid anything. There's no contract or anything.
Okay. You said Jim Jarrett.
Mm-hmm.
What was that for?
Granbury mayor in the special runoff that took place, I believe, in June of 2021. Yeah.
And how much did Jarrett pay you?
Oh, I'd have to go back and look. It's all in his finance reports and then in my bank statements.
You don't recall? You don't have it in
I
your
don't have
folders that you maintain each of their accounts in?
No, and some I do, some I don't. At the time, I didn't even have this computer when that was going on.
Okay. How about Kathy Reedy?
Yeah, she paid for her city council race. I don't remember if I had a contract with her either. But I can,
But you received some sort of funds from her?
yeah,
Okay.
send her finance reports.
All right. Melanie Graft.
No funds. I donated to her campaign.
Okay. Courtney Gore.
Mm-hmm. Same.
And that was for
School board.
school board?
Yeah, Granbury School Board.
Both Graft and Gore were for school board?
Yes.
Okay. Katie Lang.
Katie Lang. I think I charged her $1,000, but I'd have to go back and check the finance report. There was no win bonus or anything. They pretty much knew how to campaign already. Those who have run quite a few, but
What position was she running for?
county clerk.
Okay. Jeff Kelly.
Jeff Kelly ran for Justice of the Peace, Precinct 2, and I forget exactly how much he had paid. Now that I do have a concern beyond the high level discussion, I do have a clause that you guys probably saw in my contracts to where anything that's not public knowledge, I don't think I'll be able to answer.
You can raise the objection. You're still required to answer the question. The judge can take the objection up later.
Okay.
All right. You don't remember how much Jeff Kelly paid you?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Is a win bonus in his contract?
No.
No win bonus for him?
No.
Okay. Richard Haddix.
Yes.
What race was that?
County court at law judge.
Okay. How much did he compensate you?
I'd have to go back and look through the records and finance reports and stuff.
Do you have any idea?
Maybe somewhere there was $5,000 startup, and then there was how much else was that? I think there was like 1,000, and then 2,000, and I want to say it was somewhere between 7,000 and 12,000. I'd have to go back and look.
7,000 to 12,000. Okay.
Yeah, and then
And then
that's
was there a win
without
bonus?
the expenses.
Was there a win bonus in his contract?
Ours was a verbal contract, and he did pay a win bonus. I made it optional because I never talked about it at the beginning.
So he did pay you a win bonus?
Yeah.
Okay. And then this Hale,
Yeah.
what was running for what?
State rep somewhere, I think in East Texas, but her campaign guy called me and said he was having trouble generating a mailer, so they paid me $250. I think it was $250 to design a mailer for him.
This is the one-off you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Romare,
yeah.
where was that?
Williamson County. She ran for commissioner in Williamson County.
Okay. And how much did she pay?
I'd have to go back and look. I'm not sure off the top of my head.
You don't have a rough idea?
Maybe somewhere around 8 or 10, somewhere around
8
there.
to 10,000?
Somewhere around there. I'm again not 100% sure.
Was she successful in her race?
No, she was not.
Okay. And Michelle Evans, where is she?
She House District 136. That's in Williamson County. She won. I think it was 85 to 15 or 80-20 or something. She blew that guy out of the water.
Okay. How much did she pay?
She is one that I have given a little leniency toward. She's in an underdog race, and again, part of my practice is I take on, a certain level of pro bono, and then for cases where I think someone has a shot where others might not see it, I'll work with them on payments and stuff. So like we had a contract, but then we just voided that contract out because in the contract it says something about payments are due by this time, but I said, look, I feel like you're gonna win, and I want to help you, so I've given her time to pay me back.
Okay, so
She paid me, I think, $3,000 up front, maybe 5, somewhere around there.
and then there's a continuing obligation that she owes you as well.
Yeah, she still owes me a little.
How much does she still owe you?
I think she still owes me $4,000.
Okay. And was there a win bonus built in her contract?
I don't recall. We kind of voided her contract when I realized she was going to have trouble raising funds.
Okay. How did you become involved in Williamson County races?
I was asked to go speak at a Moms for Liberty event down in Williamson County, and I went there and kind of told them how we did things for the Gore and Graft races for school board. So I went down there in December or November. I think it was mid-November, somewhere between November, after Melanie and Courtney won. Michelle invited me to go speak at Moms for Liberty, and so that's how I started networking down there.
Okay, tell me about the Finn Texas Liberty PAC.
Mhm.
What is that?
That is a political action committee.
What do they advocate for?
They advocate for conservative candidates, to the best of my knowledge. I don't have inside information as to their organization, other than they were really pretty pleasant to work with.
Okay, how much did they pay?
They paid me $3,000.
Okay, and what were those services for?
That was for consulting services.
Okay, and what did you consult with them about?
Races and messaging and marketing and just general stuff. The guys that run it, I think, have been watching my progression over the last few years and, wanted to try to tap into some of that.
Okay. I want to come back over to Exhibit 5. This is the transaction for the interbank account, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. March 29th, 2022, there's a charge on here for something called Bluehost. What is that?
That is a website building service. So like whenever
a place that hosts a website for you.
Well, not exactly. I even have a hard time explaining it. Like before I was paying a guy to do websites for candidates, Brett Rogers, it's one of the functions that he performs for me, but I got on and I was making a a website for the company, and I don't even understand. You know, it's like you buy the domain, and then there's this other deal, and this other deal. I don't know exactly. I don't even know if I'm still utilizing that, to be honest.
Okay. $39.44 to Domino's Pizza on March 31st.
Mm-hmm.
Food.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah,
there's
if we've got like
Chevron, Brahms, Subway, 7-Eleven, 7-Eleven, 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven's gonna be gas most of the time, since they built it anyways. There in Granbury.
$1.08 debit at 7-Eleven.
Well, that probably wouldn't have been gas then.
Okay. So this is the business account,
Mm-hmm.
and these expenses, these stops for 7-Eleven on 328 for 691, 328 for 680, 328 for 433. Those are business expenses.
That was probably for snacks for the office.
Okay.
Try to keep
On
candies
328,
and stuff.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 stops on 328 at 7-Eleven.
That could have been in one stop with multiple transactions. I really don't recall.
You pay for one thing at a time when you go into a store?
Not necessarily, but if I forget something and then walk right back in,
So you did that 4 times on 328?
I could have. I don't recall.
Okay. The
Clearly
company
there were-
company buys you lunch at Subway and Brahms every day as
Yeah,
well?
as long as I'm, conducting business. Yeah.
Okay. 324 Golden Chick.
Yeah, it's pretty standard for companies to cover lunches that are working lunches, I believe.
Here's a charge on March 25th, 2022. It just says Law Office Granbury.
Mm-hmm.
A payment of $200. Who was that to?
That was payment to Richard Haddox's law office, one of the guys that I get to help me sometimes with stuff. Has retained Richard's services, and he was getting behind on payments, and he said, "Hey, do you have any work for me?" And I said, "Yeah, we can find something for you to do." So he did work for me, and I paid Richard for him.
So he did some work for you at the business, and then instead of properly withholding taxes and paying him a salary, you sent the funds to Richard's law office in the amount of $200.
Yeah, I mean he's a contractor, I guess. I think he was doing some work on my car, and there's another one for $50
Do
too.
you have a contract with him that you could provide us?
No, I can hand you his ASE certification though.
No, you said he was a contractor. That's why I'm asking if there's a contract that exists.
Oh, not a written one, just verbal.
So you have a verbal contract that you pay him to do work for you, and you pay Richard without taxation.
Well, it came from. Can you repeat that?
Okay, so I just want to make sure that I understand. Someone from Richard's office, is what you said earlier, did some work for you.
No, not someone from Richard's office. Someone who has retained Richard's services.
Okay, and who is this person?
Don't know if I have to answer that.
Well, you can make your objection to form and then answer the question, and the judge can rule on that later.
Okay. Objection to form, but his name is Jared Frost.
Okay, so Jared Frost did work for you. What kind of work did he do?
He worked on my Buick.
Okay, and then he gave you a bill for $200?
We had discussed it, that he would get paid for his time and stuff, so I think I gave him $50 up front, and then by the time he got done doing the work, it was $250 worth.
Okay, So instead of giving him the $200 to take to Richard and pay, you sent $200 to Richard.
Yeah.
Okay. But you don't have a contract.
Not a written one, no.
Okay. Did you get a W-9 from him?
No, it's less than $600 or whatever.
So you're not worried about taxation?
Again, that's why I'll be sitting down with my bookkeeper soon, because again, I'm not a numbers and tax and whatever guy, but I am working to get it straightened out.
Okay. March 25th, 2022, $12.80 to Prime Video. What is that?
That would have been a video rental.
Okay. The business rents videos from Prime Video
Yeah.
for personal pleasure?
If it's relevant to the practice, you know, if it's relevant to what we're doing, there's all kinds of videos on there. There's stuff
Okay.
about being a pro se attorney. There's stuff about political campaigns. There's, you know, a lot to be learned from videos offered on Amazon.
Okay. On March 23rd, 2022, $300 payment to Tarrant County. What is
Mhm.
that for?
That is, I think that was part of my fees and stuff.
Your fees for what?
I think it was to the district clerk or county clerk or something for all this.
For all what?
I don't remember what it was exactly, but it was something to have to do with the legal expenses that I have incurred as a result of this, what I believe to be a political witch hunt.
Okay, so your business account is paying for your personal legal fees?
That's again something that I need to get straightened out with my bookkeeper. Number one, because I do believe the two are connected here. And number two, because I also do the leave and earnings stuff, and if needed, I can make personal expenses from the business account, which gets deducted from my earnings statement. So,
And have you provided us with those leave and earnings statements?
no.
But you're going to, right?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me what this is. On March 23rd, 2022, PROBPMTS SVCFEE. What is that?
I don't know.
Okay. Is it possible that that's a probation payment service fee?
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Okay. So you're paying a probation payment service fee out of your business account to the Tarrant County Probation Department?
In accordance with the company policies, where I can do such things, and it just gets taken out of my pay.
Where's that policy at? We haven't seen any of those policies. Can you
I know,
provide those
I'll
policies to
provide
us?
those policies to you by the deadline that the judge has set.
Good interruption, sir. We have about 8 minutes to our 2-hour media break.
Okay. All right. 3/9/2022. POS payment Winred Texas Austin for $500. What is Winred Texans?
That is a fundraising platform for Republican candidates.
Okay. So money comes into Criswell Strategies and you forward that money to Winred Texans?
In this case, it was for that $500 one was for a client.
For a client?
Yes,
Okay, who was the client?
Michelle Evans.
Okay, so she sent you the $500 to send to Winred?
I added that to her running tab, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
and I think all those Winred ones went to Governor Abbott.
So there's $250. Who was that one from?
That one was for me. And then there's another $250 that I didn't realize I had clicked on, but it hit the account the other day.
Okay. So Michelle Evans is paying is making a political donation to Governor Abbott through you without disclosing who she is?
No, we put her name on the deal.
Can you provide that document to us?
Yeah, it'll be on Governor Abbott's finance report.
But you can provide that to us?
When he releases his semi-annual finance report, yeah, it'll show $500 from Michelle Evans on that date, and it'll show $250 for me, and then at another time it'll show another $250 for me.
Why does Michelle Evans? Why can't Michelle Evans just donate the money herself? Why does it need to go through you?
Because I don't know if she had the money, and in this instance, given the nature of her race and stuff, I said, you know, I think it would be a token of goodwill if you would make a donation to Governor Abbott, because you will need his support in November, and the people that Michelle was aligned with were not very much in favor of Governor Abbott.
And this is part of the money that she still owes you.
Yes.
So she didn't actually make this contribution, then you made it in her name?
She made the contribution, and I gave her an advance, if you will, on the money for it.
So she did not make this contribution for $500.
Well, she did, because she's going to be paying me back later. So.
Okay. If she owes you this obligation, that means it's impossible that she made that campaign contribution. Correct?
I don't know.
There's no way possible she made a $500 contribution if you fronted the money. Correct?
I don't know.
Isn't that how campaign finance works?
I don't know.
The person actually making the campaign contribution is the one that has to put their name on it, correct? You don't know?
I
You're
don't
a
know.
political consultant. You don't know how campaign finance works?
I don't give financial or legal advice.
Okay. March 8th, 2022, $541 to Blue Shark Media. What is that for?
That was for a service that I bought from Blue Shark.
Okay. Are you a part of Blue Shark Media?
No.
Do you have any ownership interest in it?
No,
Do you receive any compensation from it?
absolutely not. I receive a big headache for it.
Okay. 3/8/2022, $100 RP Judge Bill. What is that?
Oh, that was a donation that I made to Judge Bill Gravel.
Okay. You actually made that contribution?
Yes.
All right. $50 to the law office in Granbury. That's $50 to Richard Haddock's office
Mm-hmm.
that you discussed earlier.
Yep.
You paid Richard Haddock $50 because a guy worked on your car. That's your story, right?
And he owes Richard money. Yeah, it's the way.
No.
If you're gonna try to crucify me for trying to help a guy out that's trying to get his life straight,
I'm just
then
asking you a very straightforward question. This is $50
that I
to
paid
Richard Haddock's
to Richard Haddock.
office for the mechanic that worked on your car.
Yes.
$6,831.35 deposit pay through PayPal to Criswell Strategies. What is that on February 15th?
PayPal is a billing service that allows people to pay bills to, I've got a deal set up on there for Criswell Strategies.
Okay, how about this payment of $335.03 on February 25th, 2022 to Kohl's in Weatherford?
Yeah.
Kohl's is paying your personal credit card bills? I mean, your Criswell Strategies is paying your personal credit card bills?
It's not a personal credit card bill, Jeremy.
You testified earlier that the credit card you had included the Kohl's card.
That was before. I don't have a Kohl's card any longer. And I told you that too.
Okay,
It's a business expense. This suit that I'm sitting in is a business expense.
That's the game we're playing. All right.
If you want to call it a game.
Couple minutes, sir.
Couple minutes. Okay. 2/3/2022 payment to Sizemore Law Firm. $200. What is that for?
That was for a consultation to retain their services.
Okay. To represent the business?
No.
For your personal representation.
Yes.
Okay.
Which again, I have to get with my tax lady to see if I can qualify this as business, because I do believe it is.
So if we look through here, and you know, you can agree or disagree. There are almost daily purchases to restaurants, Hong's Donuts, Domino's, Walgreens, Family Dollar, repetitively over and over, correct?
Yeah.
So this business is actually funding your everyday lifestyle, correct?
I don't think that's an accurate statement.
Well, I mean, these are your
Food-
records you provided to us.
And you are miscategorizing them. Food expenses are business expenses. When you're paying for lunch, when you're paying for breakfast, when you're paying for a meal during which business is discussed, then it's a business expense.
Okay, so
I mean, that's, am I wrong here, Jeremy? Do you ever deduct
you-
meals that you do
you
for
go
work?
you go every morning. Actually, no, I do not.
Okay.
I don't.
Well,
Not that it's your business, but I don't. I actually do things legal. So on January 25th, you had a business meeting at Acton Donut in Granbury in the morning?
it could have been a phone call, yeah.
Okay, so then you did it again on January 26th. The next day, you had another business meeting at Hung's Donut in the morning?
Could have been a phone call, yes.
Could have been a phone call. You eat donut holes while you're on the phone call, and you believe that's deductible.
Again, that's why I have to get with my bookkeeper so we can get all this straightened out. And she will tell me if there's anything I'm doing in here that she doesn't feel is justifiable.
Why have you waited until now to get with a bookkeeper?
Because believe it or not, Jeremy, I have been pretty busy lately.
Since 2019, you've not filed any taxes and you've had no opportunity to get with a bookkeeper. That's your statement, correct?
No, that's not my statement. I said here lately I've been pretty busy.
Okay, why did
And
you
we're
not,
talking
why
about the
did you-
business account that I started in August.
Let's talk about why did you not file taxes in 2019?
Because I know that I will get money back on those, and I am kind of sitting back on that until I actually need it.
You violated the law by not filing taxes because you've ensured yourself you're getting a return as your testimony.
No, that's not what I said.
Excuse the interruption, sorry. Just need to go off record for a moment. The time is 3:48 p.m. and we are off the record.